We'll begin in just a couple more minutes. I got to do one or two other things. All right, so hopefully my audio is working just fine. We had a few non-technical difficulties, and that's why this stream has been delayed about 45 minutes. I was going to be about 10 minutes late, but unfortunately, I walked into the back door of my house, and two of the three drinks just decided to be at the mercy of gravity and spill all over the floor. So I had to clean up about 95% of that mess. And after the stream, I'm going to take a good mop and some stuff to it to keep any ants from being attracted to it, because I've dealt with that problem before. But anyway, welcome to tonight's stream. I do these food reviews every now and then now. I'm doing them a little bit more regularly than I would like. But it's an opportunity. It's one of the few things I can do, I guess, with a hand cam. And so I already did Chick-fil-A, I did Wendy's. We're gonna do a little bit more of an oddball fast food chain, or I shouldn't call them fast food, maybe they're more fast casual. It's a chain called Portillo's, which started back in the 1960s, I think, in Chicago. And they are known for offering two of the three items of the great triumvirate of Chicago food choices. Those being, the three being deep dish pizza, Chicago style hot dogs, and Italian beef sandwiches. Well, Portillo's does offer Italian beef sandwiches and Chicago style hot dogs, which I've got both of them with me today, or tonight rather. And I'm not going to eat all of them in tonight's stream, but I'm going to review, show you what they're about, and we'll go over a few videos toward the end of the stream about Portillo's and their current expansion plans and some bumps that they've hit in the market since they spread out from the Chicago area about 10, 15 years ago, when the original owner of the company, Dick Portillo, he sold the company to a private equity firm, I believe Berkshire Hathaway. That's Warren Buffett's outfit, if I remember correctly. And they recently went public as well. I think they're listed on the NASDAQ. So they're all about national expansion, but they're targeting specific regions first. But enough about corporations and finances and all that. You're here obviously for the food if you're watching, so we'll go ahead and get started. Let me check and see one thing real quick. All right, here we go. And if the background music is a little bit too loud, just let me know. I can always turn it down a little bit. it is meant to be background music, so I didn't want this chat to be, or this stream to be too boring. So anyway, I ordered about, let's see, if I look at my receipt here, $43.39 worth of food that you see here. That includes sales tax, which I believe is like 8.75% or something in the state of Texas. I don't remember, but that includes state and local taxes, by the way. And so we're gonna do this one at a time. They stapled my bags together, so it's gonna be a little bit difficult to pull out. I stole, or I grabbed, a bunch of napkins from the restaurant, as David Letterman in an old Saturday Night Live skit once said. He was making an ass of himself in a restaurant, and he's like, "Oh, that customer over there, she's stealing napkins," and he was pointing that out. But that happened years ago. It's just one of those childhood memories I have. Well, the easiest thing to take out are the fries. And keep in mind, I got this order an hour ago, and I would have eaten it already had it not been for that mishap downstairs. But Portillo's offers the standard crinkly fries that you get at chains like Culver's. And I'm trying to think of other chains that serve the crinkly fries. Unfortunately, these are a little bit soggy because it's been an hour, but they're still good nonetheless. I didn't have time to put them like in the air fryer or the microwave, so I just wanted to let you see what they look like. This is a regular size fry. They come in about this size container. And these wallets that I have from, I believe I got them at a con, and they're from Atomic. Just for size comparison, these are the size of credit cards / business cards. And so that's what you're looking at there. So that's there for reference. I think I'm going to lay some napkins down. All right, so I got 3 different meals, or I should say sandwiches. The first thing we're gonna try is this kind of basic cheeseburger. And keep in mind, I told you in like the Chick-fil-A and the Wendy's stream, I don't typically like sauces. So I order all my burgers and sandwiches dry. And I didn't check these before I left the restaurant to see that they got the order correct. This normally comes with, I think, ketchup and mayonnaise, and hopefully it doesn't have either. It looks like it doesn't. It just has the cheese, the pickles, the lettuce, tomato. I think they're onions too. I don't mind those. And yeah, the meat and the cheese. So we're gonna lay a couple of these down. I'm gonna have to clean my desk afterwards. This is what it looks like up close. From this angle, it kind of looks like maybe like a Whataburger burger, but it's not. It's a little bit heartier and thicker. And so the way they like char grill their patties is really good. I think they're cooked to order most of the time if they're busy, unlike say Burger King. These are really good though. That's what it looks like it's yet eaten. And so I'm talking with my mouth full, but you're gonna have to bear with me. That's what you get for watching a food stream. So one of the other things I ordered, which I'll point out in just a minute here, is, now, it normally comes in like a large drink container like this. Well, this is a medium, but a large is much bigger. But this is the birthday cake shake. It's basically a vanilla shake, and they put a slice of birthday cake into it, and they mix it up, I guess. They put the whole slice, they put the shake in the cup, and then they dump a chunk of like cake into it. And so it's meant to be drank and eaten. And so this is what the birthday cake looks like. It's complete with like all the sprinkles and everything. It's kind of it's kind of what they're known for. Their cake shakes are mostly like, I think, chocolate shake and then chocolate cake. But this is more my variety since I like vanilla. Of course, it's as sugary as you would expect. Eat these every day to get diabetes. Ah. It was good enough that I started pogging. Yeah. Enough of that plain stuff, though. I know what you're really here for. And that's one of the other two items, which... Oh, before we get to those, though, since two of these were meals, I got onion rings as well. And I like onion rings a bit more than fries. Portillo's onion rings are actually pretty good because they have a consistency where a lot of places that serve onion rings, one of the main problems is when you bite into them, the breading comes off and then you're left with just, you know, a cooked onion. If they're cooked well, the onion should come off at the same time with the same bite as the breading. And Portillo's onion rings tend to do that. They're cooked better than most. It's like $1.59, I think, upcharge to get onion rings instead of fries. They do put them in a slightly smaller container, though, as you can see here. But we'll try these out. You see what I mean? See that consistency? The onion bites off with the breading. That's how you know it's a good onion ring. 80% of restaurants can't do this properly, but Portillo's for some reason can. They know how to cook them, or they know how to fry them. That's enough of those. I'm not going to have enough room in my tummy or my or enough time to eat everything else. There's an errant French fry in that bag. I had that shit. It triggers my tism. All right. Now, this is a Chicago-style hot dog I ordered from them. Now, I don't really like Chicago-style hot dogs because of what they put on them. If you saw the title image that I have here, go back to it real quick. A Chicago-style hot dog is these are the two sandwiches I got. The hot dog is obviously up front. It includes tomato, some kind of hot peppers, a whole dill pickle slice, and some relish and onions and mustard. I don't particularly like the relish and the mustard, and I don't care for the peppers, so I don't know that you can call it a Chicago-style hot dog, even though Chicago-style hot dogs are more like salads to me. But I ordered this one without those ingredients, so if you don't like it, you can sue me. Not that I have anything worth stealing. But as you can see, they got the tomato, the onion, the actual bun here, and the dill pickle. This is enough ingredients for me. And I haven't had one of these in a long time. And I ordered it pretty much like this, I think, the last time I ordered it. So let's go ahead and try it. As you can see, I'm going to give you a little close-up. Not bad. I think hot dogs are just one of those dishes I prefer plain. Not gonna lie about that. We're gonna set this aside for now. I might eat more of this while we watch the videos later. Let me check a few things here. All right. My opinion on the star of the show and the whole reason I go to Portillo's, even though in the Chicago area, Portillo's ain't actually all that when it comes to Italian beef sandwiches. There are at least half a dozen places that serve better Italian beef than Portillo's. Not to say Portillo's is bad, but where I live, this is about the only place you can get Italian beef sandwiches. So what Italian beef sandwiches are is basically like the Chicago's version of French bread or maybe Philly cheesesteak, even though there's no cheese in an Italian beef sandwich. So what they do, I got to figure out where they sealed this, is they slow cook they roast sirloin butt basically overnight for a really long time, like 20 something hours, and let it marinate in its own juices. And that's the meat that forms the Italian beef sandwich, as you can see here. And then you can garnish it with things like giardiniera, which is kind of like a hot pepper mix. Or, as I like to put, I like to have pickled sweet peppers on my Italian beef sandwiches. I don't like the hot stuff as much, but usually you can have Italian beef with one of those two items. And the other thing when you order Italian beef is you can have the sandwich dipped in its own gravy or juices that the meat cooked in. So I typically order mine dipped. That means you can order them dry, wet, or dip. Wet means that they basically like take a spoon and they kind of sprinkle a little bit of the juices, the gravy, the au jus in. When you order it dipped, what they do is they take a pair of tongs, they grab the sandwich like this, and they dunk it in the in the pan that has like all the gravy for a couple of seconds, and then they bring it back out. So that's why this is wrapped, like double wrapped with extra layers of protection. But I'll give you a close-up here. That's what it looks like. Now to bite into it. Oh, I forgot. Let me finish chewing first. in Chicago, if you order what's called a beef combo, it doesn't mean it comes with fries and a drink. They always have to specify that if you're outside the Chicago area. But if you order the sandwich as a beef combo, what they do is they put in an Italian sausage in the middle of the sandwich, like you see here. See that? And I forgot that I had ordered the combo variant until I bit into it. I think it's like an extra couple of dollars if you order it that way. I don't remember, but me personally, I don't usually order the combo. I just get it with the beef and the peppers. Is there anything left? No, that's pretty much all the items that I ordered. So I ordered onion rings, I ordered fries, I ordered the Italian beef combo sandwich, a Chicago style hot dog, and the cheeseburger. Oh, the cake shake as well. And then this is a malt. This is a vanilla malt, which is kind of like a shake, but there's a different process for making it. It's a little bit more creamy. It tastes pretty good too. Save that for later. I'm personally a fan of the cake shake more than the malt. And so the reason I got familiar with Portillo's back in the day is that I went to I went to college and grad school in Chicago years ago and lived there for 2 years and familiarized myself with the cuisine and a lot of the restaurants there. And Portillo's is just where I would go if I felt like having an Italian beef sandwich. Just like, oh, if you feel like having a burger and Wendy's is along the way, I would sometimes go there, stop there on my way back from classes. So, and Portillo's is just one of those restaurants that is a little bit of a step up from normal fast food, I guess, in Chicago. But what I want to go over in these, next few videos that I'm going to share with you and kind of react to are some news stories about Portillo's and some other videos that were published about the current state of affairs, their history, what some of their menu offerings are. I just learned the other day that in a few Chicago restaurants, I don't know if it's still true, but they did a trial run for offering breakfast items. Now, what they offer for breakfast there, I'm not sure, but I guess we'll find out. So bear with me as we change gears a little bit here. I'm going to cut the music. First of all, let's go over Portillo's website and their menu here. So they've expanded nationally, and you can see they've got takeout, delivery, all the usual options. They do catering locations as well. they've expanded considerably nationwide outside of the Chicago area. The past 10 or 15 years, a lot of regional change have gone national, or if they haven't gone completely national, they've gone outside of they've expanded significantly outside of their traditional home markets. In-N-Out Burger is a perfect example of that. So In-N-Out Burger was mainly in California, and then in the 90s, I think, in the early 2000s, they did expand to their neighboring states of Nevada and Arizona, but only since the 2010s have they gone outside of California and that general area. They first expanded into Texas back in 2012 or 2011, I believe, and then soon after that, they were in like Colorado, Oregon, Utah, and other states, and now within the past few months, they finally crossed the Mississippi River, and they're in the eastern U.S. now in Tennessee. And Tennessee is going to be their base for expanding, I guess, throughout the other parts of the East Coast and the South and the Great Lakes states, I guess, eventually. But we'll see what comes of that. Culver's is another example of a restaurant that has expanded outside their traditional market of the upper Midwest. You know, Wisconsin is their home state, but they're also in Minnesota, Illinois, Michigan, but now you can find them in Sunbelt states, Georgia, Florida. There are a few locations here in Texas. I don't think they're as popular in Texas as they are in like Florida and Arizona, where I guess there are a lot more Midwestern transplants in those states. So, but I'll do a Culver's review pretty soon as well. So, but you can, if you go to, I guess, Portillos.com, this is what their website looks like. And they have all these on the menu, and you can click on the different kinds. You got Italian beef. Big beef means it's just a little bit longer. Big beef combo has the Italian sausage in it. You can get just the Italian sausage as well. Beef and cheddar croissant. And if you're carb conscious, one of these bowls will do you a lot of good. And I've ordered the bowls. They're pretty good. It's kind of expensive to pay for that much meat, though. Each one of these bowls is like $14, $15. You can go to the grocery store and have just about as much meat, I guess, for a lot less money. But if you want Italian beef, I guess, you know, this does, the convenience can't really be beat, I guess. I think if we go back, they have their burgers here. They offer chicken sandwiches, maybe fish sandwiches even, and burgers. Oh, one thing I want to point out here is Barnelli's pasta. They don't offer this at a lot of locations. None that I'm aware of outside of the Chicagoland area. That's what they call the Chicago metropolitan area, as they call it Chicagoland. But Barnelli's Pasta is kind of like a side pasta restaurant, Italian restaurant / bar in certain Portillo's locations, some of the larger ones in Chicago, and they have these on the menu. And I'll vouch for all of these. These are pretty good. Their spaghetti, of course. I mean, if an Italian restaurant can't make good spaghetti, they can't make anything else good on the menu. But last time I was at a Barnelli's, all of these were good. So I'd recommend them if you're in the Chicago area. All right, now we're going to go through a few YouTube videos here. The first one is about the famous cake shake. And it's about 8 minutes long. It's from Insider Food, which is, I guess, a magazine / YouTube subscription channel. I may get copyright struck for this, meaning that I'll probably not be able to monetize, because I think I had one of those on one of my other React videos with, I think, BuzzFeed or something like that. But I don't care about monetization. It's not like I make money, or not many of you watch me anyway. But we'll go through this and see what this is all about, because I like the cake shake.
Portillo's is known across the country for its savory hot dogs and crispy French fries. But most Chicagoans know that Portillo's best-kept secret is its cake shake.
It's a shake, and it's Portillo's chocolate cake at once. It's amazing. It's an evil idea. I don't know who came up with it. Thumbs up. Love it.
The Portillo's location here in Summit, Illinois is known as the chain's sweetest suburb.
In this location, depending on the day, we're going to go through anywhere from 60 to 200 of these a day, probably. On the weekends, we...
And this video, by the way, is from 5 years ago, so that's probably why you see a lot of people wearing masks, because it was during COVID, or, you know, COVID hadn't completely gone away yet.
sometimes make over 100 cakes on a Saturday morning.
That's Kara Crones. She's been with Portillo's for 9 years and has been making the cakes and cake shakes ever since she started working here.
It's extremely chocolatey and decadent. It's very moist, very delicious.
People are still shocked when you tell them, hey, we bake these on site fresh.
The cake mix starts with its dry ingredients: baking cocoa flour, baking powder, and baking soda.
There's always been this rumor that Portillo's cake has mayo in it to make it so moist.
I ain't no culinary expert, but I heard mayo is a big thing on that.
Can you dispel those rumors if it isn't true?
I can't tell you what the secret ingredient is.
Okay.
Someone might kill me. No, I'm just kidding.
The real secret is in the mixing. Portillo's mixes the batter at 3 different rates: low, medium, and then high. This is to incorporate deep pockets of air into the mixture to give it that famous fluffy texture.
When it gets towards the end, you kind of get the start of that smell of chocolate cake. You're like, oh, it's almost done. It's Portillo's chocolate cake time. You got to check on it towards the end, about 28 to 29 minutes, because nobody wants overcooked chocolate cake. So when the cakes come out of the oven, we've got to pop them out of the pan so they can finish their cooling so they don't overcook in there. So we're going to just give it a good hearty tap on the side, and then we're going to flip it into our hand. And then we're going to take it and we're going to put it on this cooling rack here. And then we can frost it because we don't want melty frosting.
The frosting that goes on a Portillo's chocolate cake is not homemade and is in fact just your traditional classic fudge frosting.
So we're going to first put a tiny little dot on the bottom to help the cake stick. And then we're going to flip it upside down so that the finished product has a more even look. And
I'm going to admit, I am not a fan of chocolate really, but I appreciate the effort and the art that goes into making these cakes like this.
so the 2 pieces stick together. So we're almost making a hamburger out of the cake. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our first pound of frosting and we're going to spread it out as evenly as we can.
And did you say pound of frosting?
I did.
Okay, so there's 2 pounds of frosting.
2 pounds of frosting on every Portillo's chocolate cake.
Wow.
And then we're going to take our second pound of frosting and we're going to put it on top and wrap it around all the sides. But we're not really going for perfection, we're going for homemade.
I'm not into sweets, but this is
This
good.
is very good. All along that I've been going to Portillo's, I usually get a piece of chocolate cake.
So you have to eat beef
Yeah.
and beer and cake in that order, though. It's good.
It's
I
good.
like it.
Yes.
Their frosting really does it. Some
Yeah,
cakes it's just kind of like too whippy or something. And it's just
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of like the whipped cream, so the frosting kind of does it. And just the cake itself,
It's super moist.
It's moist and spongy.
Sweetie, you want your lunch is done. It hits the spot every time. I remember as a kid, at all of our family parties, we would have Portillo's cake. The cake itself isn't as overwhelmingly sweet as you would think it would be based on what we saw in the kitchen. It's like, again, a subtle taste of chocolate, and the frosting is really what adds the sweetness to it. There's enough frosting to last you the entire cake. This is literally the perfect guilty pleasure for anyone wanting to eat their feelings. This is it.
But you can't just eat Portillo's chocolate cake. You gotta try their cake shake. According to Kara, back when Portillo's started making Gina Portillo's cake recipe, they could only serve them the day they were made, because that's about how long they stayed fresh for. So a manager by the name of Dale Phillips thought it would be a great idea to utilize the leftovers.
They started putting pieces of cake into a cake shake and they started selling it, and it's been a success ever since. We're going to grab our cup. We're going to give it a tiny little bit of shake mix in the bottom.
And what is that shake mix?
Vanilla ice cream, pretty much. We're going to take our whole piece of cake,
The entire piece?
an entire piece of cake.
That's amazing.
We're gonna put it all in this cup with this little bit of vanilla ice cream.
Okay.
The moment people find out that we put a piece of cake in a shake, their mind is blown.
My mind was blown today. I'm from Chicago, and I feel like a lot of people don't even know that Portillo's has a cake shake.
No, they don't.
And I only equate the cake shake to Portillo's.
So the whole thing is gonna go in. We're gonna make sure they get all their delicious frosting.
This is why I love Chicago.
Then we're gonna even add some of our chocolate syrup in there. So it's chocolate on chocolate. We're gonna add a little more shake mix.
All right.
A little bit on the bottom so the cake doesn't get stuck in the bottom and then you just get big chunks. And then a little bit more, and then we're gonna mix. It's gonna break up some of the chunks of that piece of cake that's in there so you can actually drink it through a straw or with your spoon on the side. You wanna be able to have somebody drink this in their car when they're leaving the drive-thru. You want a little bit of thick chunks in there just for a bite, but not a lot. And then we're gonna put a little more on to top it off.
Okay.
And then we're gonna mix. And voila, chocolate cake shake.
It's chewy, it's good.
It's good.
It's good. Now I don't know.
I like it when you get the chunks in there, and especially if it's like the chunks of frosting. Oh.
Yeah, chunks just gotta suck extra hard.
The rumors are true. They do indeed put an entire cake slice into the cake shake, which is amazing. And the best part of the cake shake, for me at least, is that each sip comes with bits and chunks of the chocolate cake itself. So it really feels like you're drinking an entire cake slice. I know that sounds like a lot to some people, but it's so yummy, it's so tasty, and I recommend it 100%. The best thing that complements the cake shake at Portillo's are the fries. You literally dip the fries in your cake shake, and you take a bite, and you get the perfect combination of sweet and savory. You get the crunch of the fry, and the soft mushiness of the cake shake itself. So good. Portillo's for me, as a kid, was always comfort food. It was always, something that reminded me of home, and a place where I could come with all my friends, whether I was in high school, whether I was in college. There was just so much variety, but also the food was just always good. Especially the cake shake, and the fries. These three might not be on the iconic 5 list of Portillo's, but to me, they're the famous 3. This is why I miss the Midwest. No one cares about the calorie count. You just taste good food, and you eat good food, and you just eat what makes you.
All right, so this next video is about the recently launched breakfast menu, I guess, in a few restaurants in the Chicago area. So let's see what it has.
Did you expect that maybe you'll have lines outside of the restaurants tomorrow where you're launching?
Well,
So the war for your breakfast buck is getting more competition. Portillo's launches its breakfast menu tomorrow, and it's happening at only 1 Chicago restaurant and 4 suburban locations. And what you're seeing here is some of the menu items. First, on ABC 7. Garrett Kern from Portillo's has the preview for us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for being, this is the time of day when a lot of us are really hungry, right?
Absolutely.
It's almost lunch hour, but we have breakfast here, and so give us a little bit of a run through. What have you brought for us?
Yeah, we brought pretty much everything on the breakfast menu, and the star of the show are our breakfast sandwiches. So we have a bacon, egg, and cheese croissant, a pepper, egg, and cheese on French bread, and my personal favorite, the char-grilled Polish sausage, egg, and cheese on French bread.
I feel like that might be the most Chicago out of all 3 sandwiches.
Nobody's ever done anything like this before, as far as I can tell. And as I've talked to guests as they sampled it, they're like, you know what? I didn't think Polish sausage would be good in the morning, but I'm a believer now.
And people get really excited about new things. So do you expect that maybe you'll have lines outside of the restaurants tomorrow where you're launching?
I'm hoping we do. I think our teams are prepared. And, for those folks that come in, they say, I'm just hungry for an Italian beef. We are serving Italian beef in the morning as well.
And then then even your coffee is inspired by some of your iconic menu items. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so we partner with Metropolis Coffee for a super high quality brew. We have hot coffee, we have iced coffee, and a variety of flavors. And our signature flavoring tastes just like our famous chocolate cakes. We call it our chocolate cake coffee, as you see there right now.
That would be worth trying, even if I don't like chocolate all that much. I seriously am curious now. Next time I go to Chicago, and I haven't been up there in almost a decade. I don't have that many friends up there anymore for whatever reason, just lost touch. But I got to find one of the restaurants that offers the breakfast. I'm going to try everything.
Now, does the chocolate cake have anything to do with these donuts here too?
It does. We asked ourselves the question, what would a Portillo's chocolate cake taste like in a morning food? So we partnered with Stan's Donuts. This is a double chocolate old-fashioned donut, and it's finished off with a drizzle of our famous chocolate cake glaze.
Well, since you said, I mean, you had me at chocolate, because anybody who knows, am I allowed to take one of these? I don't want to ruin your display over there.
No, they're fresh. And
so Garrett, as I take my bite of my chocolate donut here, I'd love to know, why enter the breakfast wars now?
Yeah, so we've been around, as many people know, for many decades in Chicago. So 62 years we're celebrating this year, and we have people lined up in our drive-thrus early in the morning. They're kind of already wanting to get food at breakfast time, so we figured we have delicious, craveable food. Let's bring that forward to breakfast and see how it goes. And that's why we're testing it out for the summer at those 5 Chicago area locations.
Yeah, and this is also, by the way, an excuse to eat chocolate cake in the morning, because that's basically what this donut is. I think I might have chocolate all over my face right now. So Garrett, where is the menu launching?
Yes.
And at what time?
So the times is we're going to serve breakfast from 6:30 in the morning till 10:30 in the morning. In Chicago, it's at our South Loop location at Canal and Taylor. We also have Elmhurst, Shorewood, Tinley Park, as well as Niles, and it's covering all those suburban directions.
And if it works out for you, you might expand it?
Yeah, if it works out, we're going to test it at least through the summer, and if it works out, we might expand it to other restaurants.
If it's still there, I know where all those restaurants are.
Thank you for the preview. Garrett Kern with Portillo's, and we will be right back after a break.
Watch breaking news on YouTube.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. So Portillo's did make a sandwich called the Pope Leo in honor of the new Pope from last year, Leo the 14th, because he's from Chicago. and they did a news story about it. It was available on the menu even here. It was available at all their restaurants.
Popular Chicago-style restaurant in the Valley, celebrating the new American-born Pope in a very unique way.
Yeah, Danielle is live this morning at Portillo's with what they're doing. Good morning, Danielle.
Yeah, good morning. They're definitely celebrating in a very big way here at Portillo's. The Pope, the new Pope, has his own sandwich right here. You guys can take a look there. Smells delicious. We have Robert here. He's the general manager. So this is kind of going along a theme here. It is what, Beef Month here?
It's Beef Month in May.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And all throughout the month here at Portillo's, we are kind of focusing on our signature sandwich, which is the beef sandwich, which is Portillo's signature. It is thin sliced beef. It's slow roasted for 4 hours in a proprietary our gravy. You were talking about the Pope.
Yep.
We have the Leo sandwich. Apparently he likes it dipped with, which means put in the gravy, soaked with hot peppers on it. So it's an amazing sandwich, whether you like it dipped or dry, whichever way you like it. These are amazing sandwiches.
Okay, so what you were saying, though, he would take this entire sandwich and you have something on the side, like the gravy? And
no, it's an actual gravy that we have. It's a pan of our dipping gravy with all of the wonderful spices and juices, and it goes right into the gravy and it just soaks it all up. So
amazing.
It's a full soggy.
Amazing. So, hey, Pope, if you're out there, come stop by, right?
Stop by, come to Avondale in Arizona.
Come get this. Okay, and if somebody, doesn't want to eat this, you guys have all the other amazing
absolutely.
options.
There's something
here
for everything. It's one of the strange secrets here in Arizona. People think we're just hot dogs, but of course we've got our beef sandwich. We've got our Chicago dog, which is amazing. Right here we've got the Maxwell Street Polish. It's our Polish dog with grilled sweet onions and the mustard, and of course salads. So there's a lighter fare for people, and there's a little bit heavier. We also have burgers and chicken sandwiches.
Amazing. You guys have everything. Okay, so now is this going to be on the menu for good, or?
Oh, the beef sandwiches are always on the menu, but for Beef Month, we are just offering our guests, we have a buy one, get one of our regular beef sandwich throughout the month. And if they want to join up on our Perks program, once they join up on Perks, they're going to get an email that tells them they can come in for their buy one, get one of the regular beef sandwich. So anybody can come in as long as they're a Perks member and enjoy our beef sandwiches.
Okay, and the Leo, I see these are two different sizes.
We have the big beef, which is it, and then the regular beef, which is a part of the buy one, get one.
Okay.
The Leo sandwich, if you want that, just tell us when you come in and we'll do it that way.
Gotta have the gravy, right?
Yeah,
What's in the gravy?
Well, it's when we slow roast the beef for 4 hours, it's going to drip, right? And you're going to get all of those juices, and then we mix it with the spices, and then it just sits there. A lot of people would liken it to an au jus.
Okay.
But it's our gravy, and the beef sits in there and soaks up all those spices and all that juice, and it goes right on our French bread, and you got a crispy outside of the bread and a soft inside of the bread. It's amazing.
It's amazing. Okay, come check them out. You guys are here in Avondale.
Yes.
And there's other locations. Is the Leo going to be at all locations?
All the locations.
Okay.
Okay. Now, this next video covers what Portillo's current expansion strategy is, because like I said, they have been expanding outside of the Chicago area for quite a while to other Midwestern markets, but also markets outside the Midwest. They're in Florida, they're in Arizona, they're in California. These are all traditionally places where people from Chicago do like to move to or retire. But they've also expanded into Texas and Georgia relatively recently. So, and some people say they may have expanded a little bit too fast because they're starting to lose a little bit of money at certain locations. So this video goes over it. It sums it up better than I ever could.
Restaurant business is extremely tough right now, and one of the companies feeling that in a big way is Portillo's. The company has already dropped like a rock over the past couple of years. Now, shares are down after the company reported earnings, but actually shares are actually up 15% year to date because there's at least hope that we've hit some sort of bottom. You can see here that the market cap for Portillo's is just $426 million right now. And this is still a company that's generating positive adjusted EBITDA, positive operating cash flow. So I want to dig into the numbers and the good and the bad from Portillo's, what management is doing. They've got a new CEO who's coming in who should change the direction. We know a little bit about what's going to happen, but let's dig through everything. My name is Travis William. Thanks for watching Asymmetric Investing. Please subscribe here on YouTube for all my content. And thanks to this video sponsor, The Motley Fool. If you go to fool.com/ASYM, they'll give you their top 10 stocks to buy right now. Let's start with some of the high-level numbers, because this is the first thing that I always look at with any restaurant stock is what's going on with the same restaurant sales or same store sales if you're looking at a retailer. Negative 3.3% in the fourth quarter of 2025. That's not good no matter how you slice it. What management said is the ticket was flat, despite the fact that they were raising prices. That means that people are going for more discounted or less expensive items, and then also traffic was down. Now, this is something that's actually been consistent across the restaurant industry. So I think there's a few things going on. One, some people are going out to eat less. That could be because of economic conditions. It could frankly be because more people are using things like GLP-1s and just craving things like Portillo's a little bit less. But the other thing is that high prices are putting pressure on consumers. Now, one of the big things that Portillo's has kind of waffled back and forth on over the past year is how quickly is this going to be an expansion company? My theory when I bought shares of the stock a couple of years ago was that this was going to be a growth company, really good unit economics in their core business. And then if you can expand that into other areas, Texas, Florida, Georgia, that is going to be something that's going to be scalable long term. And that will actually help as you build out more scale in each of those cities. That actually hasn't worked out well for Portillo's. And a big reason that they pulled back on their expansion plans, I think they were originally planning 16 new units in 2026. They pulled that back to just 8. So now we're looking at a little less than 10% growth for the year. And they're fighting commodity inflation. So what's ended up happening is the core markets, particularly in the Chicagoland area, continue to do really well, continue to have solid unit economics. But those other markets, particularly in Texas, there was this boom when they opened up stores, and then it just didn't last. The revenue that they were generating.
Not gonna lie, I went to the first location that opened in Texas back in 2023, a few weeks after it opened. It was a really cold February day. And I told all my friends about it because, you know, I lived in Chicago for 2 years. I know what the restaurant's like, and they all like it. They go fairly regularly, I guess, maybe. I go more often than them simply because I lived in Chicago before. But yeah, they haven't, on a per unit basis, because there's now like 5 or 6 locations in the DFW area, and there are others that they're planning to open elsewhere in Texas. Like I heard El Paso and Lubbock. I'm not sure about those markets, but yeah, they're probably just expanding a little bit too fast. But you know, I guess we'll see what happens. Texas is not traditionally a place a lot of people from Chicago move to in a small geographic area. When you think of places that Chicagoans retire to or move to or visit during the summer, it's always Central Florida, Arizona, and Southern California, and that's where they traditionally have expanded outside of the Chicago area, other than a few other Midwestern markets that Chicagoans like to go to for like day trips or weekend trips. That would include, like, say, Madison, Wisconsin, or Indianapolis, or downstate Illinois. Those areas. So, but Texas and Georgia and some of these other states are outside of their traditional core demographic, and I think compared to other restaurants that are expanding, it's like he said, they're doing relatively well relative to other restaurants that are expanding in this economy. But even so, on a per unit basis, you are going to lose money, because that's what the industry is seeing throughout the whole market.
Rating per store didn't live up to those expectations that they had. That's led to weak unit economics. So they pulled that back and said, hey, we just want to focus on the top 8 stores that we have the option to build in 2026. We're going to space out our expansion in some of these cities. So for example, they recently opened in the Atlanta area. That restaurant did really well at opening, but they're not planning on opening their next restaurant there until next year. But as far as outlook goes, they're expecting mid-single digit commodity inflation. So you're fighting the cost side of the business. Labor inflation also going up 3 to 5%. So they're not going to be able to increase their prices 4 or 5% to offset this. That means their margins are going to be relatively weak at 20.5 to 21%. And so despite opening some new units, having some other units that were open late in 2025 contributing for the full year, adjusted EBITDA expected to be flat for the year. The good news is some of this capital expenditure spending that they were doing to expand the business is going to come down a little bit, $55 to $60 million. And what they're doing is they've got this new restaurant of the future 1.0 concept. It's about 20% smaller than older restaurants. And this is what they're opening in most of their new markets. The other one is going to be this inline version. This is in the Chicagoland area. So we'll have to see how those things perform in the future. But you can see these trends just not where you want to be going for Portillo's. They did have nice same-store restaurant sales growth in 2023, but now it's been negative for the past 2 years. Restaurant level adjusted EBITDA has gone from 24% down to 21.6%. Like I showed earlier, that's going to expect it to be even lower in 2026. $100 million in adjusted EBITDA.
I'm skipping past some of this.
For restaurants, maybe and it does look particular, has kind of gone a little bit too far. So whether you're looking at some restaurants are going to
yeah.
So they should be able to be one of the companies that.
Now for a summary without all the graphs, if you're not that financially literate.
Survives some of that fallout, but doesn't mean that it's going to be an easy couple of years ahead. But like I said, I want to give management at least the opportunity to show that they have some sort of turnaround plan that's going to potentially.
They are correcting course, though. That's a good thing.
Potentially work. But this one is on a short leash for me. It's the one that I only hold right now because the valuation has gotten so compelling, but I'm not buying more at this point because I don't want to see those unit economics continue to get worse. Something that should always be a red flag for investors. But hopefully that's helpful in understanding what's going on at Portillo's. Let me know what you think.
All right, and finally, the last video we'll watch tonight is Portillo's opening up their first location in Georgia in the Atlanta area. And this is outside of one of their traditional markets. This was done by a food reviewer, I guess, Big C Vlogs. and it's about 8 minutes long, so let's go ahead and watch it.
What the heck?
Yeah, I saw that in the pictures. I don't know what that is, but it'll be good. So this is mine, if I can figure out how to open it. Oh, wow. That's actually pretty good size. Dang. Okay. Sweet. Hola.
Hi.
So we're going to Portillo's. That's what that other thing, little clip was. She's dressed like this because we're also going to the new Five Nights at Freddy's movie. That's a text message, not a Nextel phone. So yeah, Portillo's, they have, you know, hot dogs and burgers and all that kind of stuff. And she normally only wants McDonald's, and so she's actually going to try something different, probably because she kind of likes hot dogs and theirs are like world famous or something. So the car is driving now. Let's get to Portillo's. Click like, click subscribe. Indulging the life at Indulge Clothing for the merch. Let's go. Good old Cobb Place Boulevard. We gotta go straight. I think that police up there is for Portillo's. I'll have to film the outside if we pull in, but that's the store. But yeah, this here is all, I think, to stop people from turning in there. We gotta like go up and do like a freaking loop-de-loop. What are they doing? All right, let's see if we can get in here. So we're parking up here. All these people are legally parked up here, so I figured, you know, what are they gonna do? Tow all of us? Like, we can go down to Portillo's. All right, Portillo's. Well, that's a pretty building. So we got a pickup window over here. Outside seating, fancy, fancy. Oh, what is a doghouse? Take a book, leave a book. Alrighty, we're here. You first. Wow, this is a lot bigger than I pictured. It's a self-serve kiosk. All right, so let's order. What do we got? We're gonna dine in, phone number, okay. So we've got a lot of options here.
So one thing I noticed is that even after they opened up the locations here in Texas, like I noticed only a couple years after, and maybe this is one of their cost-saving measures, they're putting in like self-service, self-ordering kiosks at all their locations that I've been to. But that's a trend throughout the entire industry, so I don't see that necessarily as a red flag. I mean, hell, even McDonald's is doing it and has been doing it for a while.
Burgers, chicken sandwiches, hot dogs. Should want a hot dog. Hot dogs. More hot dogs. So, what do you want, Kaylee?
I have no idea.
So these are the, wait, that's the hot dogs. You can of course get them however you want, but like that's the basic one that you just get with ketchup and mustard, or is that what you want?
I have shakes. I want a shake.
Customize. This meal number, mine's 15. 3408. Yeah. All kinds of little knickknacks hanging up. Stars. Fringe. I don't think they're actually using this for online orders currently. So there's.
Okay, so I want to comment about the flare that you see here. It seems like in all their markets outside of Chicago, they have a common design and theme with all their restaurants, except for maybe the oldest ones that are in California. But in Chicago, all their restaurants have one of 3 or 4 different types of themes, interior decoration and exterior decoration inside. They have like 20s Prohibition, 50s Diner, 30s like Great Depression or whatever. I don't remember, like, but there's like 3 or 4 different types of designs within interior decorations within every Portillo's restaurant, if you're in one of the ones in the Chicago area.
All kinds of like spark plugs, Firestone tires, Autolite, Wolverine motor oil. I'm not understanding the theme here. I'm missing something with the theme. Yes, I'm 3408. Up there, I'm looking forward to one in progress. This lady noticed her outfit from FNAF. 2 drink cups. Alright, 3408, we're great. I put them individually. She said, 3408, we're great. Here's your cup. Let's see. Have to say that's a pretty big small. Gotta keep my tax write-off. All right, so we've got, see? Oh, whoa, are they stuck together? They're stuck together. All right, I like these little trays. That's convenient. All right. Oh, okay. This is fries, this is food. Hot dog for Kaylee. Oh my God, this feels massive. Double cheeseburger for me. So yeah, see, they're famous for their hot dogs.
What? What the heck?
Yeah, I saw that in the pictures. I don't know what that is, but it'll be good. So this is mine, if I can figure out how to open it. There we go. Oh, wow. That's actually pretty good size. Dang. Okay. Sweet. Fries. You got fries, too. Fries. All right. Well, you got mine. You got yours. Give it a try. Try out their hot dog. I think it'll be good. Is it good? She likes it. It's gonna take me a minute to put this together. Hold on. Wow. This is huge. That's really big.
He ordered the double.
Good.
Very good. Wow. 2 thumbs up. Do a fry test. Good fries to me.
A little bit fun.
I dig it. The Dr. Pepper is pretty good too. Alright, we're gonna eat this and then we'll come back and tell you what we think. It's delicious. I like pepper, maybe it is bad. Thank you, Portillo. Back to this traffic jam. She's cold.
So cold.
So, genuinely, you know, I'm like Channing Tatum, you know, so. Very good food though. I really like the burger. I'd recommend the single cheeseburger if you think the double's too much, because for me, double's too much. I did learn this restaurant chain is from Chicago. This location was the 100th location, and it is the first and only location in the state of Georgia, right here off Barrett Parkway at Town Center, and yeah, Town Center basically. So that'll do it. We're gonna go watch the FNAF movie, Five Nights at Freddy's 2. That'll be a separate video, because that was a video that I planned to
If you go to their Wikipedia page, you can read up on the history of everything regarding Portillo's. So I'm not going to go through all of it, but it is what it is, I guess. Back at their menu here. All right, so I guess with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream right here because I feel like I need to finish cleaning up that mess that's downstairs, unfortunately. Apologies for that, and the stream being 45 minutes late when it really could have been only 10 minutes late, I guess. So long weekend ahead because Friday's a day off for me. So I am hoping I will get maybe 2 or 3 pieces of content done, either another stream or I need to do a couple of shorts. I have enough footage and original material to do about half a dozen shorts, and those seem to get the most positive reaction out of people. So I'm going to try and do those. The problem is with doing a short, I actually have to take some effort into doing the recording, doing all the takes, and then editing everything before, I upload it. It's sometimes a typical 30-second short for me is going to take at least an hour, hour and a half. But, I need to just get off my lazy ass and do them. So maybe I'll have a twofer this weekend. We'll see. But until next time, next stream is probably not going to be food. It's probably going to be either a driving video or I might play a game, maybe with Miss May or something like that. We'll see. I need to get Kita-san Black. So, but until next time, thanks for joining, and we'll see you later.